Can you hear me?
Yo, yo.
What's good? What's good? Welcome to the support report, my bro.
What up, though?
Oh man, it's all to the good. It's all to the good. It's blessings on blessings. I am your host, KCG, and I want to let you introduce yourself. Go ahead and tell the people who you are, what you do, and where you from.
What up, yo? It's your boy, Diamond the Artist, aka DTA, you know what I'm saying? In the building, on all social media at DTA Experience. Because when you're rocking with your boy, that's what you get. You get the DTA experience. And man, I've been traveling the world for over 2 decades, man. Performing sometimes as an artist, sometimes as a producer, sometimes as a DJ with some of the biggest artists in the world, man. And I'm blessed to still be actively doing that to this very day. I just got off a plane last night, so God is magnificent. Yeah,
Man. I definitely agree 100%. Thank you for coming on the show. It is my supreme honor to have you. We're going to dive right into it. I like to always start off the show with a simple question that can be complex depending on each individual. Where was it that it started for you? What was the spark that got you into the community, started you in the entertainment business?
Well, there's a couple of answers to that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how long-winded I could be, but if you want
as long-winded as you like.
Okay, so if you want the full answer is I got my notoriety in the business, in the industry, as a DJ. You know what I'm saying? As a DJ slash turntablist. We'll get into the turntablist art and the aspect a little bit later on in the conversation. But so that's how I got into the game, was via the turntables. I was introduced to the turntables from my older brothers who were both dabbling in the whole DJ thing. We had a big age gap, between my oldest brother and myself. It was 10 and a half years between my middle brother, who passed away a few years ago. Our age gap was about 8 years. So when they were 19 and like 17, between 17 and 19, they bought turntables. And I was like 8 years old. You know what I'm saying? So I got a chance to see what they do, and I wanted to be my big brothers. So anything that they did, I wanted to do. So of course they wasn't letting me touch them turntables. They was mad expensive. You know what I'm saying? And they knew I would break the needles. So I would just sit back and watch them while they were doing what they would do. They invite people over from the block. Like, this is when I lived. I was born in Bushwick, Brooklyn. So this is when I lived in Bushwick before I moved to Long Island. So while I was living in Brooklyn, I would watch them. Dudes from the block would come through and they would have their ciphers rhyme while my brothers would DJ and so on and so forth. And best believe, though, when they went to work and school, if I was home, I knew how to press every button to turn that sound system on. I knew how to turn the amps on. I knew how to turn the receiver on. I knew how to turn the mixer on. I knew how to turn the turntables on. And I would get up on empty milk crates, because I couldn't even reach because I was little. I would stand on the milk crates and I would practice and try to emulate what they were doing. Now, I don't know if one day work was rained out or something, but I was going into my normal routine. They had left, and as soon as I saw them up the block or in the car or whatever, I would flip the switches on and I would start going. They came right back. They came they came back. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why they came back, but they came back. So I'm and this is how the story went. This is what they told me. I'm going. And I must have been cutting up something old school, like Good Times. I was a kid. I was a baby or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm going back and forth. And they told me, I'll never forget, they told me that they watched me for like 20 minutes before they stopped me. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't know they was there. I was in a zone. It was me and them turntables. And when I saw them, that was it. I knew my life was to an end. It's over. I was like, I'm dead. You know what I'm saying? I this is what life was for me. I figured it was gonna kill me. Now when I saw them, I fell off the crates and got up. I started running. I was gonna try to find my mom, but they was like, "Yo, chill, stop." They was like, "Yo, nah, you good." It was like, "You good? Go back and do what she was just doing, and let me see you do that again, and I might be able to help you do it better." And then they realized that I had something. You know what I'm saying? And then they embraced me with the DJing. So, and eventually at one point I did break 1 or 2 needles. You know, I mean, I still was a kid. You know what I'm saying? But now they respected what I was doing. So, you know, that was my introduction to the turntables from my brother DJ Greg G and my brother who's no longer with us, who's resting in peace, the original DJ Maniac. So that was my introduction to that, because this is a 2-part question. You know what I'm saying? That was my introduction to the instrument that I use called the turntables. Now, the second part of your question was what gave me the spark to, you know, do this and be in this industry. That would be when I moved to Long Island. Like when I was in Bushwick, music helped me a lot because I was a rowdy kid. I never started no trouble, but I was a no nonsense dude. Like if somebody wanted to smoke all day, I was fighting all day, and I was lumping dudes constantly. You know what I'm saying? And my parents were like, "Yo, you're gonna end up hurting somebody to the point to where them or one of their family members or friends is gonna come back and kill you. And I'm not letting my child be killed out here on these streets." So my parents like literally got their money together and they moved me out to Long Island. You know what I'm saying? To just to have a better environment that was less stressful or whatever. So, and it worked because I didn't fight as much. Actually, I ended up joining martial arts, and I fought in martial arts, but it wasn't out of anger. It was literally, it was an art, and I competed. You know what I'm saying? I did very well actually in competition because I was blessed to be decent with my hands or whatever. So that was, you know, God rest my parents' soul, but that was like one of the greatest things that they could have ever did was get me out of that environment, because I could have been a product of that. So fast forward, now here's how God works. I moved out of Brooklyn, right? My brothers were older than me. They stayed. So now I go from having 2 big brothers as DJs and having turntable access to I'm in Long Island. I'm seeing ducks, you know, roosters and deers, and you know what I'm saying? I swear to God, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know what was going on. It was a whole different environment out here. So with that being said, I figured that hip hop was over for me. I thought I was done. I was like, wow, it's done. You know, I'm in a whole nother zip code now. It's a different world. You know, I got grass. I got to learn how to cut the grass. It was a whole nother thing. So here's how God works. Me thinking that hip hop is over, God so happens to move me to the same street, may he rest in peace, with one of the greatest hip hoppers that ever lived, the diabolical Biz Markie.
Wow.
Who happened to, you know, become my honorary big brother for 30 years. You know what I'm saying? Because that's, you know, I'm 8.5 going on 9, and now I live down the block from Biz. Now remember, at this time, Biz wasn't Biz yet. Well, he was always Biz, but y'all didn't know him yet. You know what I'm saying? But he was making his way in the industry, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, linking up with the, you know, the old school dudes, you know, the big dudes like the Force MCs. Before they sang, they rapped. They was the Force MCs, then they became the Force MDs. Then, you know, the Cold Cuts brothers and, you know, the L brothers and the, you know what I'm saying, you know, the Disco Twins, you know, it went on. So Biz was always out there with them, and one of his best friends was who? Dougie Fresh.
Wow.
That's how Biz ended up starting the beatbox, because Doug was the original beatbox, the only beatbox. And him and Biz was so tight that Doug was like, yo, you need to do this too, especially with them big lips you got. Let me show you how to do it. And then, you know, Biz picked it up from Doug, and then he got his own style. So then he started doing the beatbox, and that's how he ended up linking up with Marley Marl and Shantae. And then, you know, Roxanne Shantae is really who gave Biz his start and put him in the game. Now, while all of this was going on, I just knew Biz as the big, crazy looking dude from up the street that would just walk up and down the block. So I would wave at him. I was friendly, trying to make friends and stuff. He'd wave back, but, you know, I was just a little kid. He wasn't trying to, he was older than me. He was like, what, 8 years older than me, or how much older he was. So he was just, I'm just a little kid. That was cool. But one day, I actually had, my brothers had came out, and sometimes they would spend the weekend, and they brought the turntables with them. They brought us the set so I could DJ. So I was literally DJing in my front yard, in my driveway, and Biz happened to be walking up the street, and he said he was watching me. Wow. And he stopped to talk to me, not that day, but the day, like 2 days after, when I was in the front yard raking leaves or something. He said, yo, how you know how to DJ like that? I said, my brothers, they showed me how to DJ. He said, yo, you nice with it. He said, tomorrow, come up the block. I'm going to show you something. So the next day, I went up to Biz's crib. And lo and behold, I didn't even realize I knew his brother. His younger brother, Don Michelle. I had already knew his brother. I just didn't know that Biz was his brother. I didn't put two and two together. So I was like, oh, I've been to this house. I was like, this is Shell's house. But that was Biz's crib too, because I was Biz's older brother. So that next day, Biz said, come downstairs. I'm going to play something for you. So I think the first tape he played me was the demo of Treat 'Em Like a Prostitute.
Wow.
It was Dougie Fresh and Slick Rick, and somebody else was on it. This was a demo tape. And I think Lottie Dottie was on there too. Wow. And this was like 2 years before it came out as a record.
Oh God.
And when I heard it, he sort of looked in my eyes. I was like, yo, like I wanted to, he knew I was hip hop. And he was like, yo, this kid is gonna be my protege. So like literally after that, Biz took me under his wing. So by the time I would say 11 years old, I was going to like the Apollo with him. Like when he was performing. Now he got records out and everybody knows him, you know what I'm saying? Like the time when he came out the nose, when he had Picking Boogers and then the Big Nose was on stage and he came out and started doing the Biz dance. I was there. I was backstage for all of that. You know what I'm saying? That's why, like, if you see so many videos of me, I'm like, yeah, it's my big bro Biz. Yeah, he's been my big bro since I was 9. You know what I'm saying? That's why Cutmaster Cool V is my cuz. They just, they became family. So that's the cool thing. Like my brothers introduced me to it, and then Biz showed me what I could make of myself with it. And that's one of the reasons why, if you ever see me on stage, there's not too many people that can match me on stage, because I was molded by Biz. I learned how to perform by some of the best performers ever. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I got my start, and then that's how I got the battery put in me to be the performer that I am today.
Wow, bro, that is an amazing story. You have just totally blown my mind with all of that, bro. Like from, you catching that early inspiration, and you know what I'm saying, just from watching, not even actually being able to touch the turntables before you were able to touch them. You know what I'm saying? You learned enough to be able to soak up enough to be able to do your own thing when your brothers weren't there, first of all, against their will and knowing. And then when they find out about it, you were good enough for them to watch for 20 minutes. And not because, of course, we know how big brothers are. Usually, big brothers see little brother messing with their stuff, especially expensive equipment like that. And we talking about in the early 80s, it's very expensive, very expensive, to get that type of stuff. And here it is for 20 minutes, you are going crazy, and they are watching, enjoying the art of their little brother becoming what they are already. And then they took the time to mold you and help you become into your own. Then to get totally cut off, because I got to recap this. This is so fucking amazing to me. Get totally cut off, moved away from your brothers and the whole environment into a whole new environment, and end up right down the street from one of the greatest of all times, Biz Markie. And he basically molded you and helped you grow into the industry. Wow, that is like so amazing to me. Okay, so like R.I.P. Biz, bro. And I can't express enough gratitude to you guys, you know, you and Biz, you know what I'm saying, and pioneers like you guys for all of the hard work that you guys did to make it happen for us, for those of us who are now benefiting off of this global juggernaut called hip hop, you know,
Yeah.
because back in those days, it wasn't money in it. It wasn't nothing but love. It was, you know what I'm saying? It was money, but not like it is now. You know what I'm saying? People don't get that. Like,
Hey, you know what? I don't want to cut you off, but
yeah, please.
please remember your train of thought. But I just want to jump in right there
What's up?
because you said something that's very real. There was money, but the money was, it was nothing like what there is today. There wasn't really that much, money unless you knew how to maneuver. Like bitch, like the real talk. Biz died a multi-millionaire because he was a genius. A lot of people, he walks around like this big retarded dude, like you'd think, but he was a genius. Every move he made was calculated. You know what I'm saying? So he was one of the fortunate ones to leave, his family with a boatload of money. You know what I'm saying? Like more than they could figure out what to do with. That's why he has the Just a Friend Foundation and all that other stuff. But you're right. The money wasn't really there like that. So people really had to figure it out. One of the reasons I feel why I always make money, and money has never been a problem for me, is because I started for the love. I didn't know, there wasn't a bag in front of me. No one was dangling the carrot saying, yo, if you DJ, you can make this much money. It wasn't that. It was the love of the art. And I just loved it. It's the passion. And you can see it when I perform. I'm passionate about how I manipulate them turntables and how I rock. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's why money always comes to me. I've never had a problem making money. You know what I'm saying? It always comes. And that's why I'm like, yo, if you don't believe in God, I don't know what you believe in, but there's definitely a higher power that kind of works with the way this universe operates. You know what I'm saying? Now, the difference is you see people from, they're a little older than me, but I still consider it my era. You know what I'm saying? You see people like the Bizzes and the Dougie Freshes and the Houdinis and perfect example. I just did a show with Rob Bass last week. Yeah. Rob Bass, nobody said, yo, if you make a record and put a female singer on the hook. I think Rob might have been the first one with a female singer on the hook. We can go back and think about that. He might have been, you know what I'm saying? But no one said to him, yo, you make a record like this and you put a female singer on the hook. Yo, you're going to make mad money. No, he just went in the studio and created what he felt because he loved what he did. Now, fast forward 33 years later, he still makes mad money off of its tapes too. 33 years later. A lot of these new artists, ain't none of them ever going to see that. They are hot and they make a hell of a bag right now. And usually they fizzle out within 2 years, unless you are a phenomenal dude from another planet like Drake. But if you're not like one of them dudes, and you just a regular, whatever, you got about a good year to 2 years before they're like, yeah, we don't like you no more. And then your money stops. So I hope you invest it wisely and figure it out, because you're not going to be touring 30 years later. You know what I'm saying? A perfect example is that I forgot his name, but I think his name is Mo Bamba. I got hoes calling the young Shaq.
Oh yeah.
Hottest record out, right? He was the hottest thing moving. I couldn't play an event and not play that record and have everybody going berserk. Where is he 2 years later? You see what I'm saying? And I could name 30 of them. You know what I'm saying? I'm just using him as a quick example because I don't want this to take up the interview. But you made a great point, man. When you do something for the love, the money usually follows, and the money keeps coming. When you do something for the bag, you can get to the bag, but are you going to keep the bag? And is the bag going to keep coming? It's a big difference. So everything I do is for the love.
Man.
Back to you, bro.
Oh God. And the point that I was trying to touch on is is okay. So back then, there wasn't even a market, you know, for us. You know what I'm saying? And hip hop was considered a fad. It was considered, you know, not even a real music genre. Like it was under the urban music banner. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember a lot of rap songs that made the charts back then made it under the urban music, not necessarily. We didn't even have our own genre at the time.
Right.
So like I want you to talk about some of the crazy things that you experienced as far as you know, back in those days, you know what I'm saying, versus, you know, coming into hip hop as it is now, a global juggernaut, as far as, you know, making your bones and being in little small dives and this, that, and the other to make hip hop pop. Because you're actually a huge part of that, bro, whether you want to take it as credit for it or not.
You know what? I'll be honest with you. I don't have too much to offer when it comes to that part of the story because, you know, here's how luck would have it. My first professional entry into the game, as we speak, I was 15 and I was doing a demo tape with a guy named Parrish Smith and another guy named Eric Sermon.
Woo.
So we literally made this demo that turned into records that blew up overnight. So there wasn't really no dives. You know what I'm saying? We was playing the biggest spots ever. We was in Latin Quarters. We was at the Red Parrot. We was at Union Square. We was playing the biggest, hottest places that anybody would ever want to play in their life. You know what I'm saying? The only dive part of the story that I could talk about is, and it wasn't really dives. It was just, you know, like I became like one of the biggest local DJs like before the whole EPMD thing. So I was doing everybody's house parties and backyard parties, and that's actually how me and Eric met, because Eric would come to my parties and he would ask me to rap, and I'd be like, all right, let's try it out. Let's see what happens. And he would get on the mic and he would kill it. And then Eric became known as my MC. So when I was at the parties rocking, Eric would always show up and we would do routines together. So, and that was before we even thought about making a record. You know what I'm saying? We didn't think about making a record until Parrish came in the picture, because Parrish's older brothers had a group called the Rock Squad, and they made this song called The Facts of Life that was on Tommy Boy Records. So Parrish actually was their DJ. So he already knew how to make a record, and you know what I'm saying? So he brought that back to us and said, yo, we can go in the studio and we can do what we're doing now and make a record. And, you know, I'm 15. I'm like, are we allowed to do that? I didn't know nothing about making a record. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, we won't get in trouble? It's like, nah, we can I know how to do it. So we went in the studio and EPMD happened. And I was a part of the beginning of that.
Wow. Okay, yeah.
So I don't have the dive stories. My bad.
No, that's even better, bro. Because I was trying to hold on to that. I was hoping I was gonna get something before that, but going into that, like even meeting either one or even together, did you notice the genius? Did you notice? You know what I'm saying? The level. Did you feel like there was gonna be levels past, okay, bam, just E being your MC and P, you know, having his own style and things of that nature? Did you see in the future of them at any point?
Nah, I didn't see past today. Like literally, that was my first time ever in a real studio. Salute to Charlie Murata, who's one of the greatest engineers that has ever lived, and he's still a genius. I mean, he's a diabolical, fiendish genius of an engineer. You know what I'm saying? The guy, and he still uses most of the old equipment that he had from the 80s. Wow. And you go in his studio today and you look at his studio like, why am I in this crazy looking wreck of a place? But the sound he gets out of there, you'd be like, oh yeah, that's why I'm here.
Oh God.
Charlie is a genius. So but no, I didn't see past the day, to be honest with you, because again, we was kids. We was just kids doing what we did, having fun, making music. Like literally every single day I would be at Biz's house at his kitchen table eating cereal, because Biz loves cereal. We all would eat cereal, and we would be beating on the kitchen table, making beats and rhyming. That's what we did. If I wasn't doing that, I was playing ball. I was a basketball head. But other than playing ball, I was at the kitchen table with Biz, making beats and freestyle rhyming. This is why I rhyme so good now. You know, I always had bars. My passion was the turntable. But I was getting any cipher and rhyme with anybody. You know what I'm saying? Always. That's what I grew up on. That's what we did. So I didn't see the bigger picture like that. I mean, Biz showed me the bigger picture, but I still didn't see it because it was always around. It's like eating pizza every day. You know what I'm saying? It's just, you know, like, oh, pizza's always gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? But you don't see the steps of the pizza, like, okay, but now the pizza can have pepperoni on it. But now the pizza could be a buffalo chicken pizza. Like, I ain't have the court vision like that. I see everything now. But back then I didn't see all of that. So I was just doing what we did, and that was just make music. Now I fell out the bed. I'm not gonna lie, I literally fell out the bed onto the floor when I heard Red Alert go, yeah, and I got this new record, man, I want to play for y'all. And it goes something like this. Yeah. And then the helicopter started playing. And I said, helicopters? I said, we play helicopters, and it's my thing. And I said, boom, boom, boom. I was like, yeah. Yo, I fell out the bed when that record came on the radio. I was like, Ma, we did this. This is what we made. I told you. It was like maybe 5 months ago we made. It was quick. It got on the radio within 5 months of the radio. I was like, this is what I was telling you that Eric went in the studio and made. And she said, this is you? I said, yeah, we on the radio. At that time, I may have turned 16. I was somewhere between 15 and 16. So it was exciting, you know, it was crazy, and you know, and then EPMD just blew up like overnight. Like that, there's not too many stories like that. It's usually like, yo, we was grinding for 2-3 years, and we didn't grind, yo. We didn't. There's no grind to tell you about. It literally, we grinded in the studio, made the joints, shopped it to a few different labels. Like, I'm sure you heard the song "Please Listen to My Demo." You know what I'm saying? You know, there's a bunch of labels that passed on us and was like, you know, Eric will never make it. He talks with a lisp. It's not going to work. Y'all are from Long Island. Nobody cares about Long Island. Blah, blah, blah. You know, and it was Sleeping Bag Records, Virgil and them, that took a chance on it. And they were like, yo, I don't care where you're from. Like, yo, this is hot, and nobody sounds like this. This is unique. And they put it out, and that was it. And Red Alert, Chuck Chill Out, you know, my big bros for life, they made it happen. And then, you know, Magic and Marley started playing it too, and it just went crazy after that.
Oh God. And yeah, like I remember when I first got a hold to that album, bro, like when I say life changing, bro. Like I couldn't believe what was coming out my speakers, you know what I'm saying? So like I could definitely feel the vibe of, you know, you first hearing that first sample coming on the radio and you falling out the chair, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God, that's us, you know what I'm saying? And for the meteoric rise and the success that happened afterwards, like, did it ever jade you as far as, you know, man, I've been there, done that type of thing, or did the hunger stick with you? You know what I'm saying? Was it like the excitement was there and it just continued to grow as you went along?
Well, you know, I didn't feel I never felt jaded about anything. I felt, you know, I was kind of, you know, I was upset. See, the thing was, is I was younger than them. So the record blew up so fast that, and a lot of people don't know, Sleeping Bag, AKA Fresh Records, that was a London-based company. So they had EPMD already on a 30-city tour in Europe. I was too young to go without a chaperone. And it wasn't in the budget for that, you know. And then also I had to get my parents' permission. And they was like, yo, nah, you going to college, you know, this hip hop thing ain't gonna be around next year. Nobody knew, you know what I'm saying, that hip hop would be what it is today. So I couldn't blame them, you know what I'm saying? So I wasn't able to go on tour with them. So we called up my big bro, who's my big bro to this very day. I speak to him at least once every week or so. Caleb Boss, you know what I'm saying? And Caleb Boss is the one who ended up doing the scratches on You Got to Chill, and I think maybe one of Let the Funk Flow on the album. You know what I'm saying? So he's a little older than me, so he was able to go on the road with them. So I was home. I was mad, you know, because I couldn't go on tour, but I was like, what I can do is I can make more records. So that's when I grabbed, may he rest in peace, your boy Craig Mack.
Oh, God.
And I said, yo, Craig, you rhyme with us all the time. Let's go in the studio and make a record. And that's how I produced Craig Mack's first record, called Get Retarded, which is also affectionately known as the Zoom, Zoom, Zoom record. The one with zoom, 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 zoom in the background. That's me on the record going zoom, zoom, zoom. You know what I'm saying? So, which I found out this year. No, I'm lying. This is 2022. I found out last year in 2021 that Dr. Dre sampled Little Old Me.
Wow.
And made a record. He made a record called Zoom with LL, and they used me, the Zoom, Zoom, Zoom that I did on Craig's record. They emulated that for his record. So I'm very flattered that Dr. Dre would even think to sample something that I've created. So that's dope.
Wow. Okay, so now you just dropped a whole nother level of bomb on me, because I had no idea that you produced that record for Craig Mack. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got a hold to that record through some, like I was saying, you know, we used to be tape heads, you know what I'm saying? Me and my cousin, we was the type of dudes that would be in the back of the record store, you know what I'm saying? Like, going through all the new stuff, you know, going through the boxes to see what was new, this, that. Bro, wow. That's like, okay, so producer, turntablist. When does the artist part come in? Because we're gonna definitely talk more about the turntablist, because I want to get into, you know, the difference between you doing the shows and things with artists and then doing the competitions. But like, I also want to talk about, you know, your transition into being an artist as well. Like, you know, how did all of that come about?
Well, that was, I guess it was always in the making, because again, like I always rap. You know what I'm saying? I rhymed almost as much as I DJ'd. I just never focused on me rhyming. It was something I did when there was 3 MCs around and we was in a circle and I jump in and be the fourth. You know what I'm saying? So I would rhyme back and forth with Craig Mack and all these dudes like all the time. Redman, to tell you, all of them. You know what I'm saying? We would just be in ciphers and we would rap. Because if there ain't no turntables around, it's either I'm gonna be the beatbox for the session or I'm gonna be one of the rappers. You know what I'm saying? That's what we did. So the actual artist part came about in the late 90s. It was like 97 going into 98. And at that time I had been, you know, I've been living in Minnesota for like 6 years already. Cause you know, I was working with Prince, you know, for that amount of time.
So man, that's another thing we're gonna talk about.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's so much I'm sorry to jump around, but you know, I'm trying to.
We doing
questions come. So, while I was, you know, at Paisley Park every day, you know, being a part of the New Power Generation, I had got, you know, someone had heard me rhyming on a tape somewhere. I can't remember how it happened, and it was a couple of dudes that was you know, they were shopping their joint, and I guess I had did, you know, like a show or a cipher with them, and somebody had taping, and they was like, yo, who's the other dude that's rhyming? And they're like, oh, that's such and such. You know, he's the DJ, but you know, he jumped in on the mic and he was rhyming too. It was like, yo, let me find out if he wants to make a record. Now, hold on for 1 second, bro. I'm sorry to do this, but actually, I got to take this call for 1 second. Give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna hang up real quick though. All right, hold on. Hey, Connie.
Hey.
Actually, I'm right in the middle of an interview. How come you always call me in the middle of? No, I'm just joking. Okay. Exactly. And you know what? I got your message, and I meant to call you back, and I had shows and blah blah blah, and you know the whole joint. But how fast? What's my window to call you back? What's the opportunity? Because once, okay, you did, yes, yes, yes. And it's supposed to. I think it went into my calendar, but I'm gonna call you as soon as I'm done because I know I do have another meeting on Thursday, but I just have to verify the time because I am still interested. I do want to do it. So let me just call you back when I'm done with this. All right. Take care. Bye bye. Sorry about that, brother.
No, no, handle your business, bro. Sure, we on your time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's actually that, and you know, it's a blessing that my phone rings always. You know, and that was for another show. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes.
that's God right there. So where did I stop? Where did we leave off? Paisley Park, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. So, long story short, I rhymed on a record that I think the dude ended up using to shop his demo, and a label was actually more interested in me. Like they were like, "Yo, could we hear some more songs from him?" You know what I'm saying? And I didn't have songs. I was like, I never produced anything for me ever. I produced things and wrote things for other people. You know what I'm saying? But I never thought about doing the thing on me. And they hit me up. You know, they could have hated too, and that just shows you that some people in this world are very kind. It was like, yo, they really wasn't feeling our group, but they was kind of feeling you. So you should probably, you know, since you at Paisley Park, you know, and you got access to those studios, you know, you might want to do some songs, and then I'll give you the guy's name to send it to. And so I think I did 2 songs, and I'm like, hey, I'm not gonna, you know, kill myself with this whole thing. I just wrote some songs real quick and did it. I think I did them in 2 days. Like I wasn't even, you know what I'm saying? Like some people will like work on a song for 2 weeks to me. I think I did them in 2 days, to be honest with you. And I sent them in, and the label, the vice president called me back and said, you know, we really want to sign you. We think that you would be a great solo artist. And that's when I started thinking differently. I'm like, really? Me? I was like, you sure? They was like, no, yeah, man. Like, yo, you sound, you making records that could compete with anything that's out right now. And I'm like, damn. I was like, I did this shit in 2 days. Like, I wasn't even like, yo, I gotta make this. Yo, this is the opportunity of. I didn't even take it like that. I just did what I normally do. So, long story short, that's how I landed my first record deal, and I was signed to Scotty Brothers Records. They had that's funny. Scotty Brothers ultimately ended up signing Craig Mack to his second deal after Bad Boy. So his Craig Mack's second album came out under the same label. I didn't have nothing to do with that. It just so happened that he ended up signing that deal on the label that I was signed to. So it's, you know, again, that's how God works out. But the guy that Scotty Brothers had that was that everybody would know is a guy named Skee-Lo. He had this record. I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. I wish I was.
If I had a girl who's good, I would call her.
Yeah.
Oh God.
So that was the first label I had my first record deal with. And then I had 2 other record deals after that. I was in the Universal system. I was in the WEA system. You know, I was getting signed. You know, like people was, you know, and they was paying me wild advance money. You know what I'm saying? But unfortunately, the way the business works, my albums, they never saw the light of day. You know what I'm saying? But I was cool because they gave me the money, and I was able to flip that money into other things, and I was cool in the gang with that. I was a little salty with the, you know, why will labels tell you everything that you want to hear in the world to get you to that table, to get you to sign that contract? But after you sign, that's when everything starts changing and shifting and so on and so forth. But I found out years later that I was what you call a tax write-off. They would sign me just so I couldn't compete with artists that they already put millions of dollars into. They didn't want me to steal their market share. So the best way to do it is you lock them into a contract and never intend on putting them out. So they can't stifle your artist. And that happened to me 3 times. And that's why I'm so anti-record label now. And it's cool because I got my own money and it's the age of independence anyway. So fuck a label. Excuse my French if there's any kids watching.
Oh, you all good. We edit everything. You
Okay.
good.
I try to be mindful.
Hey, I appreciate that. Okay, so let's dig back into the DJ thing because you have an extensive background as a DJ. You know, many different tournaments, you know what I'm saying? Amazing skills. I was watching some of your videos, you know what I'm saying, some of the different old school mixing and cutting and scratching and things of that nature. Like, oh my God, amazing talent, amazing skill. Like, I was blown away from just seeing that, and then to see, you know what I'm saying, all of the different accolades and different artists and amazing people that you worked for and with, like, just totally blown me away. So let's talk about, you know, the difference between being a show DJ and a turntablist, because there's really like a lot of difference in that, and there's a lot of different skills that go into being a turntablist versus just being a regular DJ. And I want you to get into that a little bit more.
Well, for those that might not know, most people know by now, but a turntablist is basically a DJ that elevates their skill set, and they're able to now, beyond just playing records, they're able to use a turntable as an instrument. You know what I'm saying? Just like a pianist, just like a violinist, or, you know, cellist or whatever. So, you know, we manipulate different sounds, and you know, it works into our DJ sets. One of the first turntablists was Grand Mixer DXT, who did the scratching on Herbie Hancock's record called Rocket. Herbie Hancock, that record, there's a part where it breaks down and it goes.
Favorite parts.
You know what I'm saying? Like that was one of the first great examples of turntablism, because that scratch was now part of the composition of the song. It didn't just come in once and then something else happened. No, this was actually a buildup of a progression. You know what I'm saying? Like, they did an entire progression around this one scratch, the way it was laid. So, like, people after that, I think people started really taking turntablism, excuse me, a lot more seriously, because they're like, man, you know, like, and then, you know, I've played with tons of jazz musicians, and obviously, you know, I played with Prince's band, I played with Beyonce's band, I played with, you know, Guru, may Guru rest in peace. He was gracious enough to bring me on the Jazzmatazz tour with him, so I was able to just play with like Greg Osby and Mike Phillips and all of these dope, you know, different jazz musicians and artists, and you know, with the Prince connection, I've played with George Clinton's people and mad funk artists, and, you know, it's just, it goes on and on. I've played with rock bands, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, like everybody respects turntablists now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not looked at as, you know, well, it's just a record. And nah, it's like they realize that it brings another element to their sound. You know what I'm saying? And it kind of like, I don't know, it just kind of like it makes the picture even bigger. You know, like whoever, like, I've scratched on records with Maxim from the group The Prodigy. I don't know if you.
Yes, I do. I am.
Yeah, like The Prodigy is one of the biggest groups from the UK ever. To this day, Flint, he passed away 3 years ago. He committed suicide, actually, unfortunately. But yes, rest in peace to him. But yo, they like normally do places like Yankee Stadium. You know what I'm saying? Like, they fill up arenas by themselves. No opening act, no nothing needed. They do this by themselves. It don't got to be a Rolling Loud with 30 different acts, by themselves. At nightly, they can do this. That's how big The Prodigy is. So I ended up scratching on records with them, and, you know, I mean, and turntablism. Yes, I'm Diamond the Artist, and I am putting out an album this year and all of that, blah blah blah. But them turntables took me everywhere. And turntables paid for my studio. They paid for this house that I'm in. They paid my son's education. But you know what I'm saying? Like them turntables, man. So being a turntable is always going to be my number one passion. You know what I'm saying? And it's my life's blood. So being a turntablist, I ended up competing, in a lot of different competitions, and by the grace of God, I ended up winning a lot. You know what I'm saying? Which is awesome. And I ended up becoming one of the founding members of a crew of DJs known as the X-Men, who are also known around the world as the Executioners. Oh, so we're arguably we're one of the biggest battle crews in the history of mankind. And when people talk about battle crews, they usually mention the first two mentioned are my crew, the Executioners, and Qbert and Mixmaster Mike's crew, the Scratch Pickles, and Shortcutting them. Oh, God. So us two, we're pretty much the top of the food chain in the world of turntablism. And then, don't get me wrong, you got Craze's crew, you got the affiliates, you got you got the Fifth Platoon, you got the Beat Junkies. There's so many dope crews out there, but usually the first two mentioned is the Scratch Pickles and the X-Men or Executioners. You know what I'm saying? That's it's pretty dope to be part of that fraternity. You know what I mean?
I'm talking about history maker. Fucking amazing, bro. Like, I don't have enough flowers to give you. I don't have enough respect to show you. You know what I'm saying? Like the effort, the time, the passion that you put into hip hop, the history that you made in music and the entertainment business in general, bro. Do you ever look back at yourself and be like, wow, I did it? Or is it more so like you're just so continuously in the motion that you're, you know what I'm saying, you don't really take that time to look back at your accolades? Bro, you're a fucking legend. You're a legend. And I gotta say it. You a legend, bro. You legendary.
I ain't a legend. You know what's a legend? Them old school Acuras. Acura legends. Those are legends.
No, bro. I can't let that stand, bro, because and I appreciate your humbleness, but see, my thing is that we make history every day.
Right.
This conversation is a part of history. We've made history today having this conversation. So for you to go back into the history of the game and to be right there with Eric and Parrish, making the first Eric and Parrish making dollars album happen, for you to be there with Biz in those backgrounds and at his house, in his life, in his world, for you to be around Prince and traveling with him and doing the things that you've done with him, for you to have performed and been in the venues and been around the different levels of the game that you have, bro, you're a legend. Whether you want to accept that or not, I giveth you. I feel like I'm hip hop enough. I've been entrenched in this game since the first time I heard Run DMC, Tougher Than Leather. I've been, like totally in love with hip hop, rap, turntablism, breakdancing, you know what I'm saying, graffiti, the art of hip hop, the fashion, everything, my whole life. So I feel like I'm empowered enough to tell you, to bestow upon you the understanding that you are a legend, bro. And
I'm gonna have to accept, I guess.
Man, because
you just said it, I was like, I would be disrespectful if I didn't.
Bro, I appreciate that, because man, when it's all said and done, like, it was so much that I didn't know that you have enlightened me to. So many different levels of respect that I gotta put on your name, bro. Like, wow, unbelievable, so much wow, bro.
Thank you.
Is there any accomplishments that stand out to you that make you feel that wow factor in your life?
Yeah, the kids, like man, I've been blessed, man. My life is amazing, like there's no doubt about it. And the funny thing is, like, I don't feel like I've done nothing yet. Like I haven't, like I've done everything with one foot in. I haven't like literally ever once totally concentrated on my career, because there's other things that in life that I had to do and things I wanted to do. So, to date and probably forever, the children are always going to be the greatest accomplishment. You know what I'm saying? When my son was first born, just holding this little human being and knowing that I helped create him, you know what I mean? Like you can't, nothing can beat that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I've had some crazy moments. And I'm like, man, that's pretty dope. But nothing to ever beat that, in my eyes. Now, besides, having, the little beautiful 9-year-old girl running around, and, my son, he's an adult now, he's going into the corporate world, he's killing it, you know what I'm saying? So besides, the fun factor of all of that stuff, the parenting, the next tier down would be the musical stuff and the musicality, or just entertainment in general. This was pretty cool. In 2019, right before the pandemic, I got inducted into the Long Island Music Hall of Fame. That's pretty dope.
Congratulations, bro.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that was dope. It's nice when people are paying attention. You know what I mean? Like, I don't do it for that. I never did it for that. We do it for the love, but it's nice when people are actually paying some attention to what's going on. And, inductees of the Long Island Music Hall of Fame are like Ashanti, Mariah Carey, Billy Joel. Billy Joel hosted it that night. Actually, he was the host. You know what I'm saying? LL Cool J. I mean, the list goes on. I mean, it's too many.
That's what I'm talking about, bro. Like, you're in legend. You're in a Hall of Fame. Like, I was just telling one of my OGs. He's in a football Hall of Fame here in Chicago, and nice. he didn't look at it at that. It was pro-am. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And he didn't look at it as being a big achievement. But I had to bring to his acknowledgement, like, bro, there are tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people that have come through this same type of environment that you did and did not excel well enough to be a part of that fraternity. You are. That's legendary. There are people that are going to come and see that, and see you and study about you, maybe even write a paper about you in a history class, you know what I'm saying?
Wow. One day. Hold on. It's funny that you mentioned that. Okay, so here, speaking of that, here's something else that's pretty cool. Shout out to my brother, DJ Ruthless Ramsey, who is also known as Professor Ramsey, who is a college professor in Arizona. I found out recently, I jumped in and I did a Zoom with his entire class, because I found out recently that I've personally been a part of his curriculum for the past 10 years. Wow. He teaches a DJ course, and they have a whole subject matter session on me. I didn't know this. I wasn't even aware of this until last year. And he was like,
that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, that's legendary. That is legendary, bro. Like, there are people that have learned the history of turntablism from your example. There are people that, were inspired by the footsteps that you took. Like, nobody could replace you for the things that you've done, for the opportunities that you've created for people, for the art that the pushing forward of the art that you've done. Bro, thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for not only for doing what you've done, but for giving me the opportunity to be able to thank you for what you've done, bro. Like, I'm a real hip hop head, bro. I love this shit, bro. I've lived my whole life for the music. My mama will tell you, when I was in the womb, she couldn't go to sleep. She couldn't sit down. She could not do some type of activity without some music going on. Because if it wasn't going on, guess what? I'm at her. It's going down. Where the music at? I can't hear no music, no sound. What's going on? So that's how much I love music. And to be able to have these interactions with artists, DJs, producers, you know what I'm saying, you know, of your caliber. Like, I just recently did an interview with K Solo, you know what I'm saying, and he was telling a lot of great stories, you know, said a lot of great background information, you know. So like,
he's a good guy, man. He's a good guy.
Man, you mad respect for K Solo, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't express to you how grateful I am to be able to share with the world you, because, you know, even though you have worldwide acclaim and you probably have hundreds of thousands, if not millions of fans all over the world, you know, here it is. I have people that may never have met you or may have never heard anything about you or know that you were part of the Executioners, or, you know what I'm saying, that you toured with Prince. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so many different levels to greatness that you've achieved that I have an opportunity to introduce people to. And that is great to me. So I know you got business to attend to. I know you got things to handle, so I don't want to take up too much of your time. But I definitely want to have you back, because it's so much that we didn't get a chance to discuss, and it's so much that I would love to pick your brain about and share with the people. But I just want to ask one more question. If you would give a piece of advice to anybody that might be listening right now, about, you know, how to persevere or, you know, be as diversified in the game as you have, is there any type of advice that you would give them if, you know, if they were looking to follow in any one of your footsteps?
One of the biggest things I've realized over the years, like my career, the career of Diamond the Artist, aka DTA Experience, has never had a management and never had a publicist. But I always get these major jobs. I've always gotten these jobs because, and I'm very proud of this fact, because I've always been the absolute best person for the job. The way I became P. Diddy / MTV Making the Bands DJ was I waited online like everybody else with 3,000 people. When I got in there, I did what I do, and I beat every DJ for that position. Same thing with Beyonce. I had to go up against 27 different other DJs. I did what I had to do, and I beat out every DJ to get that position. Same thing with Prince. I went up against, one of them was a current U.S. champion. I went up against all these DJs. I did what I had to do. I got the gig. You know what I'm saying? So one thing I can say is that every job, every high level, upper tier, you know, type of thing you see me doing, I've always been the best person for the job legitimately. So I would say to people, number one, whatever you do, always make sure your skill set is 100% official and ready to go. Like, again, let's get back to the beginning of what you were saying, how everybody's out here doing it for the bag. This is how you have the push button DJs of today. They just learn just enough to push that button, get on the mic and say a couple of words and play a song. And they're like, yo, I'm hot. I'm popping. Put me in the clubs. I'm ready to go. You might get to the next 3 steps, but you're not going to be in them arenas the way I'm in them arenas. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a different skill level. And I'm not saying I'm better than anyone. I'm just saying that I put in my 10,000 hours to get my skills to where they need to be. You know what I'm saying? So I always recommend to people, marketing and promotion, that's great. You can self-market yourself to death. But after the hype is over, after you got the publicist thing, oh, this is the hottest and they're the best and they're the it thing and blah, blah, blah. Now it's your turn to go. What are you going to show us? You know what I'm saying? Are you going to show us more smoke and mirrors, or are you going to show us that you have the skills that they already hyped you up about? So my number one factor is always going to be have your skill set right. And my number two, to back that up, is just be sincere. Keep your word. That goes a long way. You know what I'm saying? I've always been a man of my word. If I say I'm going to be there, I'm going to be there. If I'm not there, it's obviously an act of God that stopped me from being there. But other than that, I'm there. And I'm going to, not only am I going to do the job I told you I was going to do, I go above and beyond. And that's probably why off of every one gig I do, I get 3 more behind it. Because it shows that I don't just do just enough when I'm on that stage or I'm on that set or whatever I'm doing. I go above and beyond. And people do actually recognize that. So that's my 2 biggest things. Get your skill set right and keep your word. And you can go far in any industry, not just this one. That's pretty much, you know, if you're an architect, make sure your skills is right. Make sure the building you built don't collapse in 5 years. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
You know, build some good stuff and the word gets around like, yo, this person here, they might be a little more expensive, but they do the job right the first time. They get it done. That's it.
Real talk.
And I'd like to thank you, my brother, for even giving me the time to share some of my experiences with you and your following.
Oh,
Much
man.
appreciated.
That it is my honor, bro, and I don't mean that in any short term, less than honor, bro. Straight honor to have you here. It's a thing that we like to do. You know, at the end of the show, we give you an opportunity to shout out people that supported you. This is the support report. We support everybody, and we support who supports you. You know what I'm saying? So we want to give you a chance to give out your love and throw some flowers around for your people that you love and have loved on you and helped you get to this point and supported you. So please, at your leisure, as long as you like.
Well, I'm always I'm honored to be on the support report, first and foremost. And you know, the big people, the big name people I work with, you know, it's obvious. You know, everyone knows them, and they get their flowers all the time, and I give them their flowers as well. So it doesn't matter how big you are, it's still that you out here rocking, and you deserve that. But there's people, you know, that out here that like one thing I try to support. I always try to support definitely, you know, Black-owned businesses, because we got to help each other get off the ground. That's just the first and foremost. But I always like to support independent businesses, especially when it comes to clothing lines. Like you see the line I'm wearing that right now, sneakerheads. Sneakerheads. Shout out to my cuz Mike Hands. I don't know if you know who Mike Hands is, but
Yes.
you should know him. He's one of the dopest dudes in the industry. He so much about. He used to model. You know what I'm saying? He was like a big model, like the Tommy Hilfiger type of model. He's a dope MC. You know, like he's an amazing MC. Actually, he has a new album dropping, I believe, March 25th of this year. So look out for Mike Hands, because he's coming. And he's also an incredible clothing designer. A lot of people didn't know that. And this is one of the companies that he's affiliated with, which is Sneakerheads. So I'm wearing his joint, rocking his joint. So enough respect and salute to my cousin Mike Hands. And he was also behind the whole Pepsi thing. Remember when Pepsi had the DJs? The Pepsi DJ division with DJ Enough and all of that?
Oh,
Mike Hands. Yeah.
Oh,
Hands
God.
put that together. And Hands is a part of my crew. He's a part of Def Squad with Eric Sermon and everybody. And he's also a part of Boot Camp Clip with Rock Ness Monster and all of them. So
Salute you with that too. It's a big salute.
Yeah.
Big salute.
Salute to my brother Mike Hands, man. He's such a dope guy. So yeah, to me, everyone knows him and they love him, but he still don't get mentioned enough to me. So I mention him, you know, whenever I can. And then, you know, shout to my boy for many years, And he has a dope clothing line as well. And you know, I can only wear one outfit at a time. But my brother, the God Divine. Now, the God Divine, he has a company called DJs and MCs. So if you ever see me wearing the hats that say the DJs and MCs, that's his company. You know what I'm saying? But he also, well, he's big out there, man. Yeah, if there was ever a hustle man, like not in the TV show, but of today, that's the God Divine. He has a company called Billionaire Hemp Wraps. He's completely up and down the East Coast in every store that you would imagine. He's also behind Vodkila, which is the first vodka and tequila brand mix. So if you ever see the sexy Vodkila bottles in the clubs, that's his joint too. And he's got so much. He got too much. I can't even mention all of the stuff that, you know what I'm saying, the God is into. But the God Divine, man, that's my brother from another mother, and I love him, man. He's a very sincere and humble human being, but he is a humble giant. Believe me, he's behind a whole lot of big things, and he's dope on that mic too. He put out a project too, and he comes from the DOS Effects era. He was on the road with DOS Effects.
Oh,
so yeah, but he's somebody along with Mike Hands that you might want to bring up on your show. You know what I'm saying? Because these guys aren't maybe the biggest in the front, but man, when you figure out that they're the machines behind the situations, woo! You're like, wait a minute, you know what I'm saying? So there's so many legends all around that we can support, man. You know what I'm saying? And speaking of support, another great company that I love. I bought so much stuff from them. The name of their company is called I Support DJs. And when you see their clothing line for DJs, man, listen, I wear a lot of this stuff on stage. This is my laid back interview joint, but on stage on the turntables, definitely wear a lot of that stuff all the time. So salute, shout out to my peoples over at I Support DJs. And my little bro from Long Island. Now, you know, I only mention Brooklyn when I talk about where I was born and the first part when people ask me about it. Other than that, I only rep Long Island. No disrespect to Brooklyn, but the reason being, Brooklyn got so many hot people, they got enough. So I put Long Island on my back. Strong Island, when we out here, AKA the sixth borough. I put that on DTA's back, Diamond the Artist's back. Now, if you see the hat, you'll see that's Long Island on the hat. If I turn it around like this, oh yeah, I got hair too. You know what I'm saying? I brought the flat top back. Don't get it confused. You know what I mean? If I turn it around like this, you know what I'm saying? You see the LI, right? The Long Island.
Oh God.
And that's all day. Shout out to my little bro, Ralphie Ray, Life to Long Island. This is his brand. And I've taken this brand around the globe 10 times, and I'm going to take it around 10 more times. Because, you know, Jay already made the Yankee Fitted into an iconic, you know what I'm saying? So it's only right that I make the LI into that, you know, into our iconic, you know. You feel me?
Big facts.
So, you know, I just wanted to, you know, to shout out, you know, to some of the brands that I really rock with. And also Status Denim. That's another big brand that I rock with now. Now they a little more on the super fly tip. So when I'm getting dressed for them, like if I'm doing like the awards shows and all that, I throw on the Status Denim with the jacket and all that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but it's all independent companies, man. These are all up and coming companies that I don't mind spending my dollars with. You know what I'm saying? Because they're giving the same quality as these ridiculously expensive companies, if not better. You know what I'm saying? And they're giving you better treatment. So, you know, I don't mind spending my money with the companies that I know are giving out quality products, and they also giving out sincerity with what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? They're putting that good energy out there. You know what I'm saying? Like I've seen the energy from Birkin, and I've seen the energy from Hilfiger, and I've seen the energy from, you know, Versace and all of these people. Like I don't want them wearing our stuff, and I'm not the fuck I'm rapping about your shit for. If you know, I know you made money off of Cardi B and Megan and all of them talking about these Birkin bags and all of this shit. And the first thing you come out is like, we don't make stuff for them. We don't want them buying our material. Man,
Talk
look,
about it.
this PG show could turn rated X in a minute if I keep talking about that. So
Hey,
I'm
I
not
feel you, bro.
give them that energy. I'm not even gonna, man, listen, let me just woo. All right, I'm back.
We back.
I'm back to positive now. But I just, I wanted to end off the show, on that type of note and let people know that, stop name chasing. You know what I'm saying? You don't gotta buy something because it says, I mean, the Supreme, that they just put a little bar on the shirt that says Supreme and they want $300 for a t-shirt. It's a t-shirt, man. I'm like,
Facts.
bruh, I don't care if I got the money, bruh. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks.
Yeah, So I'm just, I'm always like, yo, support the independence that got. Yo, this is dope. It wasn't $300.
Yes, it is.
I think it was like $75, $80. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't no
Oh,
$300. You know what I'm saying?
You hear me? And it's still hot. On
And I'm
God.
still fine with it. What? You know what I mean?
On God.
Yeah, but yo, once again, man, I appreciate the love and I appreciate the support. It's your boy DTA, also known as Diamond the Artist, on all social media at DTA Experience. Listen, come get the experience, man. I'm doing a whole lot of stuff, man. I'm doing radio, I'm doing television, I'm doing live performances, and of course, I'm always going to be doing music. It's your boy. God bless.
Blessings. Okay, I just want to give you the opportunity to support yourself. I know you just shouted, your social media and stuff out, but go ahead and shout it out again. Also, let everybody know where they can pick you up for booking, and when the music gonna be dropping and all that good type of stuff too, because we got to definitely support you as well, because that's what it's really about, supporting you. You know what I'm saying? So definitely go ahead and get that information out as well.
Well, I appreciate that. And yeah, once again, all of my social media except for Facebook, because I've been trying to change Facebook for about 3 weeks now, and it keeps not letting me change the name. But other than Facebook, all of my social media is at DTA Experience. That's DTA Experience. That's IG, Snapchat, Twitter, whatever. What's out? TikTok, Fanbase, Cameo, my YouTube, like you name it. It's all at DTA Experience. First single should be dropping around the end of April. So we're not too far off from that. And just a disclaimer, the name of my project is called Just My Songs, because that's what it is now. It's just my songs. It used to be, I'm gonna make this type of album, I'm gonna have these skits, and I'm gonna make sure it all makes sense, and it's not gonna make sense no more. Because you know what? I just learned that in this day and age, people's attention span is way too short to even think about an album like that. So every day when I wake up, I feel different. So however I feel that day, that's the type of song I'm making. Example, if I feel like, if I'm feeling a little frisky, I might make a song about, chicks or smashing or something like that. If I wake up the next day and I see something, some atrocity to my people, on TV or something, I might make a very political song that day. If I wake up one day and I'm just happy because I woke up, I might make a song about God that day. But that don't classify me as a, so-called Christian rapper or whatever the case may be. That's just how I was feeling at the moment. If I do some thugged out music, that don't mean I'm a gangster. That means that's how I was feeling at the moment. So that's why I titled the project Just My Songs. I don't want y'all to go deep into the songs. I want y'all to go deep into me and realize that this person, this one human being, this one individual has created all of this different sounding music. That's what I want to leave the people with. That's my artistry. That's Diamond the Artist. You feel me? That's the DTA experience.
And that is real, because being an artist, I personally feel, is, giving the people your particular viewpoint and your expression as an artist. So that's exactly what being an artist is all about, and you exemplify that to the fullest. I want to thank you again so much for having the time for me, bro. I definitely appreciate you. I definitely you know, give you all the flowers in the universe, you know what I'm saying, that I know exist, you know what I'm saying, and definitely anybody that you want to send to the platform, anytime you want to come back to the platform, I don't care what they do, how they do it. They could be at the very top or just beginning. This is your platform, bro. This is their platform. The support report is all about showing support to whoever is in business, that's serious, that's passionate, that's doing what they doing, and you know, showing love at the same time. So that's what, you know, I'm open for anything. You know what I'm saying? So just let me know you refer them, and I get them in ASAP. You know what I'm saying? Anytime you want to come back, you in ASAP. No questions asked. It's been my immense pleasure to sit down and speak with you, God. Legendary figure that you are, bro. Keep being legendary. Keep breaking boundaries. Keep going the extra mile for the culture. Keep going the extra mile to, you know, bring us the greatness that you already have, and I'm sure you will continue to do. Thank you so much, bro.
Appreciate you, brother. Salute.
On God. Well, everybody, this has been another great, amazing interview. It's your boy KCG. This is the support report. We definitely want to shout out our sponsors, Supreme Hustle Club, you know what I'm saying, Ghetto Heaven Records, all the good guys, you know what I'm saying, that's in the background showing us love. We definitely want to give a shout out to everybody that made this possible, you know what I'm saying, all the love and respect. Everybody that chimed in, much love and respect. You can find us everywhere at the support report, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, all of that good stuff. Like, follow, share, all of that. Much love and respect. Peace.